Hey everybody, it is Jason,
And Darren.
and we are super excited to talk a little bit about the Gorge race, the Gorge AR race. We've got a lot of questions, and people are scared of our races. Why is that, Darren?
Well, we maybe make the courses a little bit tough sometimes.
But I think that really it's the weather, right? Well, like, if you've seen images of the last couple Expedition Oregons, they were pretty intense.
A lot of snow.
And last year's Gorge race, what was the temperature?
I think it was up to 105, 110, somewhere in there.
Yeah, so we've done all that we can to make sure that doesn't happen this year. It's not going to snow like 16 inches at the start line, and it's not.
It's not.
It's not, and it's also not going to be 105 degrees. You promised me, right?
We moved the date forward so that it would be slightly less than 105 degrees.
Yeah. So, but we are really excited. This is designed to be a 18-hour course, so it's basically going to take you the whole day, and for some teams a little bit into the night. But this isn't like Darren's playground. So tell us a little bit about the course.
Well, it's got some pretty fun whitewater. Nothing too crazy. We're not sending you into class 3, 4 this year. There might be a couple.
I think there's like one little class 3 and a lot of fun boogie water.
Yeah,
class
just
2.
Fast moving boogie water. Yeah, it's going to be really classic. I'm pretty cautious when it comes to sending racers into whitewater, and this is one I feel very comfortable sending racers down.
I did not consult Darren for the Expedition Oregon last year.
No.
Otherwise, things might have been different. But so we're really excited. It's even easier than the whitewater in the Gorge last year.
Yeah.
It's really just meant to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Good start to the race. It'll be a little chilly. We're going to start right at sunrise. So dress warm enough for that, and then just boogie down the river. The fun part comes in the decision you have to make at the takeout of the river.
We won't say more about that. Don't give it away.
Don't give it away.
Darren's got lots of secrets. And then I've been super impressed going out there visiting just with the amount of, the terrain is awesome. Like, we always get awesome terrain in these races in Central Oregon, but there's just so much single track. There's so much awesome trekking. There's obviously tons of elevation. Like, it's right there in the gorge. And the best part for me, as somebody that doesn't live there, is basically the entire race, like literally the entire race, the views are spectacular.
Yeah, you're going to get to a point and you're going to look out and be like, oh, that's the best view of the course. And then you're going to get to another point, another hour away, and like, look at that, the best view of the course.
Right. And in between, there's just going to be amazing views the whole time. You'll be like mountain biking or trekking, and it's going to be hard to keep your eyes on the trail, because if you look off to the side, you're going to see this majestic Columbia River Gorge that people come from all over the world to visit. And that's the playground of the race. And then I think my favorite part, it's a little intimidating for me following Darren on some of these mountain bike trails, because they're private. Like, they're on this huge area of private land. They're meticulously groomed and maintained, and they're just so much fun.
So much fun. I recommend a dropper post for this race. Some people don't like them, but I think you'll have more fun if you have one.
But these aren't like jump lines. They're not gnarly enduro style descents. This is just like classic single track cross country descents. But some of them can be so fast and flowy and fun. Like, I usually don't whoop out loud when I'm riding, but the couple times I've ridden out there, there's just so many trails, and they're so fun and fast. And even the uphills are super fun to ride. It's a bend racing race, so like, we don't want to sell it as easy, but
It'll be easy for a bend racing race. But it's beginner. It's 18-hour beginner friendly. So if you've done some 6-hour races, you're going to find this to be on par with that, except for just longer. And if you're a 24-hour racer, this is going to be like a fun, fast fitness race. And
there will be a lot of short course options, so we'll be kind of helping manage teams, even if you're really nervous about it. We've got some teams that are thinking about coming out with their kids. It's very doable. Like, this is not should not be maybe your first race, but it's very possible. Most of the hard things are optional. There's lots of ways to short course some of the elevation. Obviously, you're in a gorge, so there's going to be some elevation, but just super pumped. And the last thing, what do we have in this race? What's a technical aspect rarely do you get in races.
We're going to have some climbing, and this is going to be like fun basalt crack climbing, pretty classic Northwest climbing.
Yeah, easy, like 5'7", 5'8". It'll be top rope, it'll be optional, but it's a beautiful area. I'm really excited to go out there and climb. And, you know, we don't want that to stress people out, but if you have basic climbing skills, get to the gym, train some of that, and it's just a great addition. Like, we really like to utilize the whole area that's in an event, and not kind of shy away from things. And there's so much classic rock climbing out there, so we're going to add a little bit.
Might be good to learn how to tape the back of your hands if you've never crack climbed in hard cracks before. Even
easy, they're the easy cracks, but like the rock is hard.
The rock is hard.
Yeah. But that's it. So if you got questions, shoot us any of them. But we would love to see you out here. There'll be a bus to the start, so it's a big expedition style event, right?
Yeah, point to point.
Point to point. So it's not a, you know, there might be a couple loops for the O course, but you're going to have a nice long journey that starts somewhere and then ends. We're not going to tell. I almost said where it was going to start and end. That would have been bad, right?
Well, you know,
somewhere in and around White Salmon, right?
Yeah, it's going to be on the north side of the gorge exclusively this year.
Yeah, and the last little secret to tell people to entice them to come, especially the kind of more serious expedition teams, is we have now confirmed, this is our official announcement, that Expedition Oregon will actually not be Expedition Oregon next year. It'll be Expedition Washington. We'll probably still call it Expedition Oregon just because we have all the stickers and the branding and all that stuff, but it's going to be a gorge edition of the Expedition Oregon race, and it's going to be spectacular and hard and have climbing and whitewater and amazing single track and more elevation than the Flatlanders on the East Coast really like, but that's too bad. So if you live in Florida, start training on that treadmill right now.
Yeah.
And come out in June and see what it's like out here.
Yeah, come out in June and get a taste of what it's like for, you know, basically think of this as the start to a 5-day race and see how it feels.